Hi, I'm Dr. Jordan Van Hemert, Assistant Professor of Saxophone and Jazz Studies at Hope College. And today I'm here to talk to you about one of my favorite things to do, improvising. So a lot of the time when you're playing in a praise band, the director of music may or may not give you any notation to play off of. So what that forces us to do as wind players is to make up our own parts. Now that involves a little bit of either A, improvisation, or B, composition. And those are both skills that I use pretty regularly when I play in this context. However, today I'm here to talk to you about improvisation and some tips to get started. The first tip that I would say is to play by ear. Now, if you're like me, you have music going on in your head pretty much all the time. And songs that you hear on the radio quickly become songs that you sing to yourself on your runs, or songs that you are thinking of before you go to sleep, or what have you. Well, turn those songs into ways to improve the strength of your ears. So everybody has a musical ear, and playing by ear can be complicated, or it can be really simple. So here's a song that I'm just going to play by ear. So if you hear, that wasn't perfect, but what it's helping to do every time I play a little melody like that is by ear, is it's helping to make my ear stronger. Now if you've got a melody in one key, something fun to do is change the starting pitch or play it in a different key. There are 12 keys that we use in Western music, and so something really fun to do is to challenge yourself and see if you can play melodies in all 12 keys. Now that will give your ear some definite workout. Another thing that I like to do when I'm improvising is to play my scales in an improvised form. So what I mean by that is I'm using a kind of improvisation called free improvisation, which means that there's no time signature or no chord changes or any of the things that people usually get hung up on when they're improvising. So what I do in this case is I just pick a scale, say I'm working on my E major scale. And what I'll do is I will improvise using all the notes of that scale. So here's my E major. So now I'm going to make up some melodies and improvise using E major. I'm only going to use those notes. This can be a really fun way to help you get used to different keys. Speaking of different keys, a lot of the time for transposing instruments like the tenor saxophone, you're forced into some pretty uncomfortable situations. A lot of your music in band might be in the key of B flat or E flat or even F. But a lot of the times, the keys that worship leaders and congregations like using because they feel very comfortable are keys like E and G. And so what that does is it forces us to transpose. So my last tip is that you can work on transposing in different keys. Now, the exercise that I was talking about before, playing melodies in different keys, will help you to get familiar with the different key centers that exist in Western music. However, something else that you can do is to learn to transpose. So what I like to do is I like to take melodies that I already know or have written down and practice just transposing them up a whole step. So if the melody begins on E, I'm actually playing in my key of B flat and F sharp. Something that I used to do all the time when I was growing up was sight read from the hymnal in this way. So those are just a few quick tips to help you get started improvising in a praise band. Hope that helps.